Check it out. Thomas is on TV. Check it out.
It's open question.
An unanswered question is an open question. But it does not follow that every open question must be seriously considered. Some questions are more pressing than others. Some possibilities are more possible than others. It is up to us to learn to distinguish between a question that is ultimately fruitless and a question that is in fact taboo. Which brings us to tonight's guest, author of The Big Wedding, 9/11, The Whistleblowers, and the Cover-Up, Thomas Flynn. If you thought for a moment it was Colonel Peacock in the library with the wrench, Thomas is here to tell you that in fact you were very, very wrong. Welcome, Thomas.
Pleasure to be here, Bill. Thank you.
In the adversarial chair tonight, we have an old friend that will help keep us in check. Please welcome the author of Patriotism, Suzanne Coulter.
Thanks, Bill.
Thomas, I'd like to begin with you. How do we, the skeptics, the audience, how do we know that you're not just some crackpot, but actually a seeker of the truth who's merely being smeared as one?
No, that's a good question. My answer would be this. I would ask that you don't take my word for anything, but also, in the spirit of experimentation, if nothing else, don't take the government's word for anything either.
It's a pretty tall order.
Especially when it comes to 9/11, Americans have very strong feelings about what happened that day.
Yeah, but the question of what really happened on 9/11 is an empirical question.
Yes.
Well, I mean, there are many, many strange and anomalous facts surrounding 9/11, and any honest attempt at understanding what really happened that day must contend lucidly with all of those facts, not just the ones the Bush administration has cherry-picked for the American public's consumption.
That is ridiculous.
I think I demonstrate quite clearly in my book that the government's take on the events leading up to 9/11 conspicuously ignores irrefutable facts.
Thomas,
There's a cover-up in place.
Thomas, a skeptic might say that the story that you propose in this book is so complex, involving so many people, a cover-up is virtually impossible.
Exactly. This administration can't cover anything up.
Don't worry, Susan, I'll let you have your time in just a moment.
This is exactly what I mean, because if you care to look, the cover-up has a lot of holes. I mean, with 9/11, it's the facts that are complicated, not the explanation. The simplest explanation is most often the likeliest explanation.
You're inducing Occam's razor?
Exactly right, Bill. Occam's razor.
Oh, can't wait to hear this. Occam's razor.
Well, can you give us an example of a strange and complicated fact?
Okay, well, let's take a look at the alleged terrorist ringleader Muhammad Atta. We're told that he's a Muslim fundamentalist hell-bent on bringing down the Western infidel, when the truth is, the guy's a cokehead with a fondness for pork chops, strip clubs, and blondes. How fundamentalist is that?
Wait, how do you know this?
I have an independent corroboration that Atta's American ex-stripper girlfriend, Kelly Mandam, was told to disappear by the FBI. She's still in hiding, but you can see her interview online.
Do you believe everything you find on the internet?
No, wait, even if he had an American girlfriend, that doesn't prove anything. I mean, Muhammad Atta could have been just another religious hypocrite. I mean, he wouldn't be the first one of those.
Okay, but Atta also had a close relationship with a non-Muslim German-born man named Winfried Ringer.
Winfried Ringer, tell us about him.
Atta and Ringer were very close friends. So these guys were not just acquaintances, they were inseparable. Atta was completely devoted to Ringer. Now why would an alleged Muslim fundamentalist be so devoted to a non-Muslim German?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us?
Well, when the Joint Terrorism Task Force caught up with Ringer on his yacht in Hawaii when he was looking to buy land for a new flight school, he said, "You can't arrest me, I'm working for the CIA."
Well, the CIA.
That is preposterous.
Is it? See, yesterday Ringer was a target. This morning, they released him and recanted. Then they threatened me not to publish the story, saying he was never a target. Alright, here's the kicker. They won't say who they arrested. All they say is they have to keep his identity a secret.
Well, that's all very interesting, but couldn't this Ringer have simply lied that he was in the CIA?
Why the about face? Why the sudden threatening attitude? And why would a former operative for the anti-terrorist group Operation Diamondback, who shall remain nameless, call my office and confirm that yes, he was working for the CIA?
That actually happened?
Yes, I have a recording of it. It was a very terse call to say the least. All he said was, the answer is yes, Ringer's working, can't talk about it.
That would be mind-boggling, I mean, if it were true.
It is true. I can the recording. Look, this is the closest we've had to proof that Otto had a direct connection to the CIA.
But that's not proof. Testimony is not proof.
I'm not saying that it's proof. I'm saying it's the closest thing we have to proof. And coupled with the fact that Pakistani ISI, essentially an arm of the CIA, wired Otto $100,000 on September 10th, 2001.
Do you have the check, the bank account, anything? Is there something more to this?
If it's true that Atta had CIA ties through this Winford ringer, the open question would be, who was Muhammad Atta?
Not the guy who piloted the first plane into the World Trade Center?
Muhammad Atta was a patsy.
A patsy?
Yes.
Oh. What exactly is a patsy?
A patsy is a fall guy, recruited by a rogue network within the U.S. government to be a scapegoat.
But why would anyone knowingly take that role of fall guy?
They wouldn't take that role of fall guy. That's the whole point. A patsy is typically of average to low intelligence. It's someone with a troubled past.
You have a psychological profile.
Sure. Psychotic, psychopath, sociopath, ideologue, naif. Think about people like Lee Harvey Oswald, Saran.
Muhammad Atta?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And since patsies are typically outsiders, they need a comprehensive network of support. Atta got his not from Osama bin Laden, but from a German named Winfried Ringer. You see, patsies have three vital functions. First, they have to be noticed. They require lots and lots of attention. Second, their faces and stories must be demonized as the latest and greatest form of absolute evil. And thirdly, their nationality, philosophy, or religion that the media portrays them as representing will become the target of raving vilification, arrest, economic sanctions, cruel missile retaliation, and armed invasion. It is sinister.
All right, well, if that is true, it raises a very interesting question for you. Until tonight, you were this underground figure who was safely hiding behind the people that he was accusing of all these things, and now you're on national television. What if they come after you?
I've thought about that.
And?
If they come after me, I'm ready.
To die? I mean, do you think it would come to that?
I don't know. It could, but I doubt it.
What do you mean you doubt it?
Well, I think they're more likely to smear me or sue me to discredit me.
Which I've heard that they've already done.
Well, that's right, and that's why I think that coming and talking on a show like this, on a public forum, is more advantageous for me, because if something was to happen to me, it would make my case stronger if I was killed.
Yeah, well, that's true if your murder is obvious, but surely the CIA is skilled at accidental deaths, aren't they?
Sure. Yeah, no, if that's the case, so be it. And I'm at peace with what I'm doing.
Are you a religious man, Thomas?
Yeah, I'm Catholic, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, I have faith, that's what...
You have faith? In who? In God?
Sure, faith in what I'm doing. Faith that sustains me in times of crisis.
Even in a national crisis involving a rogue network within the United States government that is hell-bent on perhaps murdering you?
Yes. Even then, you know what, especially then. Hebrews 2:15 enjoins us to destroy him who holds the power of death. That is the devil. And free those who all their lives have been held in the slavery of fear of death.
The devil has the power of death.
Yes.
But you do not fear death.
No. And I do not fear the devil.